Yo, as you can tell by the title of this video, I've taken my time. Honestly, I've hit level 50 in just about 100 hours. And if you are asking what took you so long, then that's, well, my attention to detail, I guess, or maybe lack of caring, or uh, yeah, I don't know what you want to call it, but essentially, I listened to every dialogue, I read every fallen paper, I helped multiple friends to go through low level dungeons about 10 to 20 times. And actually, to be honest, I would spend just hours sitting in a city and listening to the music, which has vocals in it, and I would looking at the landscape and how beautiful it is. And overall, I think I would just soak in the world because it's something to admire the game for, which I will go through in a second. But in any case, I don't regret a second of it. I absolutely loved it. And if I could, I would do it all over again because I believe the very first experience of any game is something to cherish. Now, that takes me to my next point is that MMOs don't really come out very often. And as such that I want to enjoy while the moment lasts and I want to appreciate the game for what it is. I don't mean to swallow shit, but Throne and Liberty is nowhere near being a shit. Okay? Let's get it clear. Okay, there are good sides and bad sides. It's not Taris Land. Okay, like chill. Okay. Now, in this video, I'll focus only on the good side of the game because there is quite a lot to go through, in my opinion, at least. And if you are that little gremlin that likes to play the game and hate it at the same time, I feel sorry for you, but you'll have to wait. And that's because I will record a second part to this video in which I will go through the bad points about the game. And that's because, again, there are quite a few of them, but also, I think most importantly, I haven't thought about any ways to improve those things. I know I'm not a game designer, I'm a consumer, but I feel like to give someone feedback without any suggested alternative, like a solution that might help them. In other words, criticizing without constructive feedback is a bad not good thing to do. Okay, so that's what I'm getting at. I haven't really formulated my thoughts about those problems. Some of them, yes, but not all of them. So after I have a minute to think and consult with myself where I would see the improvements go and how I would go about applying them, then I will very happily share that with you and with the developer team. So with that said, let's hop into the good stuff, all right? The good shit, right? The way I'm gonna approach this is I'm gonna split this feedback, or I guess pointers, into 4 categories, and that'll be lore, gameplay, community, and ambience. Yes, I was really thinking a lot for a long time how to split this video because there are so many points. Going through them one by one would be mayhem, and also they are not equal in terms of the size. Some of them are like little bits, and others are like huge, massive W's essentially. So let's kick things off with the lore. As I said, I followed the entire lore, and I still haven't finished it. I'm level 50, 100 hours, and I still haven't finished the lore. And it's not that I don't like it. It's because I play the lore on streams, and I only stream on weekends because that's only when I have time. So I am now stuck at chapter 9, but I believe this is enough to share an opinion. It's good. And the reason why I say this is good is because it's bite-sized. And every region on the map has its own story, and it starts with the moment you unlock the waypoint. You get this like 15-second cinematic and overview of the map. Like, it used to be lush green beautiful land, and now it's been overrun by spiders because of that, and that kind of hints you where you're gonna go and and fix it eventually. I don't want to spoil obviously much, so I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm gonna keep it vague. But what I'm saying is that you can very easily follow lore of every zone because it's like simple to the bone. Honestly, there is a bad guy, go kill it, everyone's happy. Simple as that. And on the macro level, you have the game lore, why things are the way they are with the Star of Silavith. And so it doesn't require much effort to understand. Not, like you could easily play 2 hours today, come back in 3 days, and you're still gonna remember what happened because frankly not much happened. And that's good. I love that. There's no simp shit, there's no incel shit, there's no femboy shit. It's just there is a guy, he's bad, he kills, okay, go kill him, please. Thank you. Here's the reward. Okay, fantastic. Now, obviously, I'm oversimplifying. There is a motivation to the every move by any character. NPCs have those kind of way of being, and there's voice acting on top of it. This all comes together as a very nice way to tell a story without losing the attention of the listener, I think. And I know people will still choose to F through that shit, but for those who stick around, it's rewarding. I don't know. This is how I feel. So again, it's easy to follow, fun most of the time. My 3 favorite stories are the one with the vampire, the one with the demon, and the one with orcs. Like it reminds me of Horde versus Alliance so much, and I can't not appreciate it. It's great. So those 3 are my top 3, and there are many other things that I'm gonna mention in a second. But overall, lore, perfect. I wish World of Warcraft went down that direction instead of what they've done in the World Within. It would be far better, I think. But anyway, it is what it is, right? Is as is. There you go. The second category is gameplay. And gameplay is the largest portion of this video because I have a lot to say about this. However, it doesn't mean that this is the most important aspect of the game. Nonetheless, I decided to make it a huge part of this video because I appreciate it a lot. Okay. Now, first of all, as you level up, bosses are very enjoyable. At the beginning, they almost don't pose any challenge on you. It's like you can smash the keyboard with your feet and they're gonna die. It's that easy, especially with the secret dungeon which you do solo. This shit is super easy until. But overall, bosses are very enjoyable. They have like 2 mechanics maybe, whether you're in the co-op dungeon level 20 or in the open world boss. They have like 2-3 mechanics, and like sure there are problems with the volume of visual effects. You almost don't know what to avoid from all of that, but this is a separate topic. It doesn't take much skill to kill the boss, and I like it. As a solo Andy, as a casual Andy, I really appreciate that. However, there is a challenge later in the game. I'm just saying, from the person who freshly hit level 50, they've been through the I guess you can call it the foundational stuff, and those bosses, they clearly the level of difficulty it increases as you progress in the game, but not to the point that you would lose any hope. It's totally manageable, even for people who haven't played MMORPGs before. I've seen it firsthand. Small thing in regards to the combat, I really like the way blocking feels. It's great. That's it. That's basically the point. Another one is that anything that happens out in the world is very short, concise, and I'm going to repeat myself, bite-sized. So any meta event like collecting wolf tails or whatever you collect there, or brown mica, or there are things that those meta events essentially, right, where you collect shit and hand it over to the NPC within like some kind of time limit. They're like 20 minutes tops. There's 5 minutes of wait and then 15 minutes of the actual thing. Then you have killing open world bosses. It takes depending on what group you what kind of people are on your map. 5 minutes, that's probably too long, man. Like, I don't know, it's like it's so casual and so approachable. You don't even think there's gonna impede on your experience and time in any shape or form. You just kind of, oh, boss, okay, let me deal with that. And max 5 minutes later, you've done it. That's it. Like, you're happy and you carry on killing your noob spiders, right? So that's perfect. And one thing I noticed during the fight is that, and if you play World of Warcraft, when someone just body pulls a mob and runs away and that mob loses aggro, it becomes untargetable until that mob goes back to its original spot. Here, it doesn't happen. And you have no idea how nice of a change that is. How many times I've seen desert cobras chasing someone, and then them resetting, and after they've reset and they were on their way to the original spot, I just intercepted them. That's it. Hey, bitch, you're next to me. Come here. I'm gonna, smack your ass. So that's nice. I don't know. Like, it immediately left an impression on me. That's very interesting. I've never come across that in a game before, especially that I am a World of Warcraft player, which says it all. The only reference I can really do is World of Warcraft, so go figure. There is a sense of progress, so that kind of RPG aspect of the game has been preserved. The vertical progression is strong with this one, but also the minute you level up a skill, level up a weapon, or you just drop an armor, you get the sense of that power that came with that upgrade. That's awesome, because I believe this has been lost in World of Warcraft, and so in like Guild Wars 2 that doesn't even have that, to be honest. So there are many things that I appreciate about this kind of gameplay, that when I get a reward that I earned through hard work, I guess, right? Then it gives back. And to me, that's very refreshing. Very, literally, there is a difference between one purple weapon and the other purple weapon. Cool, right? Hey, what? So, in other words, if you see someone in a city with one great sword versus the other great sword, you can tell which one's gonna deal more damage easily. And that's awesome. So one time I had an experience. I ran through a desert and I found a mob that was 4 level higher than me. I died. Now compare that to your experience in World of Warcraft, The War Within. I've been through the whole story. Yes, I leveled through the whole expansion, the lore itself. And honestly, I could go AFK. I could put my cat in front of the keyboard and it wouldn't die. Not the cat, the character. Yeah. So, again, good. I like that. And finally, open dungeons. Holy fuck. That's good. It reminds me of Lineage 2 so much, when you would go to Dion Cemetery and you would farm entire day those stupid stone golems and those shackles for a drop or for an experience, for anything really. And those dungeons, also in Lineage 2 you would have those catacombs, right, where you would put together people like full of tyrants and spell howlers and warlords, and you would fucking pull 10-20 mobs into the corner and you would just AoE them down and get all the good stuff from them. These dungeons are open dungeons are so good, and the flavor of them becoming PvP just during the night for 30 minutes, because that's how long the night is in the game. I like that, dude. I honestly just like it. I don't know. Open dungeons, fantastic way of spending your time in the game. You can group up with up to 6 people, and it's very helpful when you go to lower levels. But essentially, open dungeons are like a game in itself. The world contextualized around dungeons is so big. Like, for example, Silius Abyss, I think is the name. However you pronounce that shit. It has 6 floors. And every floor is fucking huge, dude. You have waypoints between those floors, because without them, you would have to run so much to get to the 6th floor. 6 as in -6, like right under the ground 6. That you wouldn't even bother. It's that big. So, it's great. I mean, I will get to the ambience in a second, but dude, go to open dungeons. Julie Papon, so good. Okay, that was my French speaking ability, basically, all of it. Oh, actually, I can say très bien as well, but that's probably not good English, not good French. Julie Papon is better. Okay. Anyway, third one. Okay, we're almost there. Shut up. I told you there's lots of good stuff about the game. Community. Now you like that one, huh? I'm talking about you, right? Yeah, I thought that's what I thought, dude. Now, community is a short chapter because I firmly believe that you can bring the worst out of community by criticizing a part of the game. And for example, try calling Guild Wars 2 pay to win, and you will see the worst of Guild Wars 2 community. And I'm not alone. I did that, by the way. First-hand experience. Shit. Oh, people went ballistic. And also, there's another guy that I watched. I've no longer play Guild Wars 2, but what's his name? Rose MMO or something like that. I can't remember the nickname. The dude is great, right? He's like very straightforward, very very upfront. He's not politically correct, which is exactly my vibe. And you have no idea how many times people would just be toxic to him. Like, they would literally threaten him to kill him. Yes, Guild Wars 2 players. Can you imagine? There you go. So that is an example of, like, it's just a proven case, right? Example in case that if you mention something wrong about the game, there'll be people that will jump at your throat and try to get you, right? But this is a positive video. This is good stuff, okay? So, in terms of community, I appreciate how people actually talk to each other. This is great. There have been many instances when I joined dungeon, and we would lose a healer somewhere in halfway or some shit. And while waiting for them, I sometimes like 30 minutes because party matchmaking is, we would just talk. Like we had a guy that had to run to the toilet because he couldn't hold it in anymore. And when he came back, he said how disappointed of himself he was because a true gamer holds in or just shits his pants because the grind never stops, you know? And things like this, I really appreciate this. I mean, for sure he was like 30 plus in balding, but I can relate to that. Which part, yeah? Anyway, right, so people talk to each other. They are happy to explain mechanics. Unless you join a tryhard party, then obviously there's a mismatch in expectations, but that's what it is. That's what you get. If you join a team of pro, you have to be a pro or they're gonna expel you from the party, and that's it, right? It's basic stuff. Now, speaking of people talking to each other, the global chat is always active. People looking for party, people advertising guilds. There are many guilds that help you get your shit around the game. If you don't get it, you will find help here 100% if you know where to search. Again, don't join like top 1% tryharders if you are just starting out, and you'll be good. Most guilds are most people are genuinely happy to help. That's it, right? And what helps is guild filters. There's genuine a filter where you can pick a type of guild for workers, people who work like 9 to 5 presumably, or there is an age filter, 30, 40 years old. So you know, it's I think tools like this, they allow you to find your own clique. And because people can find people that they relate to, there's very little toxicity because there's no mismatch in expectations. And so everyone just gets along. And to me, that creates a nice experience in a game. I mean, ultimately, mmorpg is about people. And that also shines through on boss events, meta events. Everyone groups up, everyone sort of fights together towards a common cause. I would find people waiting for me to reach the boss so I can tag it at least. I mean, there's just like this kind of sense of community I haven't felt for a long time in any game. So I bet you can bring the worst out of this community, again, if you just criticize something. But I don't know what's the soft spot. So I will keep searching, and maybe when I get to recording the video about the bad side of the game, I'll mention it, and I'll watch the comment section under the video evolve into a brawl, essentially. So that's my part on the community. Nothing big, but I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you. Now, finally, Ambience. I didn't know how to call this chapter. Fuck me. Like, I had so many ideas, but where do I even begin? Open world feels great. It really does. And, things like sun goes down, and there are no loading screens when you port from place to another. It's just like smooth transition, crazy. And there is a weather that affects the world. Like there can be rain, there can be sun, there can be cloudy, fog. Like you call it. It's like a living world that looks and feels great. And put music on top of it. There's actually music with vocals, dude. I work remotely, and I would often often log into the game just to sit in Castletown and listen to the music while I work. It's so good. Holy shit. Absolutely appreciate the way they build the world. And small things like, the story in the innkeeper, right? The Castleton innkeeper, the problem she has with, I don't want to spoil it really. Fuck. Okay. Let me just say it another way. You will get random mail from people, NPCs that you met on your journey, thanking you for your stuff like a week later on, and I can't really say much. Like, it's good. Like, again, you feel part of the world. Even NPCs approach you and remember you and talk to you all the time. And speaking of that, there are those random things like when you approach the contract manager, he tells you, "Oh, dude, what the fuck? You're too strong for this one. Go there." And sure, you can continue interacting with that NPC and actually sign up for contracts on the lower level. But the NPC immediately looks at you and like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, get out, right?" And that's fun. I like that. And NPCs talk. They all, again, are voice acted, and it just feels awesome. Put on top lots of people in the game, it feels like a true MMO, and that is an important aspect to capture in any MMO experience, I think, and Throne and Liberty does it great. Okay, there's one small thing that really added to the whole thing. Dude, did you find the note from the developers of the game? You know those fallen papers here and there scattered across the world? There's one that actually Pelasha found. Somewhere in the beginning, the beginner's zone where Castletown is, I think, there's a little note that is directly from the developer. It breaks the fourth wall, and it tells you about the glowing plankton in water. And what it essentially tells you to do is to wait when the sun is down and wait for the night and look at the water. And that fucker actually glows up. Like you can see, like as those waves, the tide hits the shores, you can see glowing stuff in the water. It's just so beautiful, dude. I've got screenshots, and hopefully we can show them now on the screen. But it's so beautiful. And things like this, I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but it's so wholesome. I absolutely love it. Now, Ami Toys. I know this is probably hit and miss, but I kind of expected such a move from an Asian developer. They love that stuff, right? And actually, I love that too, to be honest. Ami Toys are just fun, especially when you visit their house. That mischievous music is great. And their plans, which we covered on the stream, to turn that into a proper housing where you can actually decorate and shit, is gonna be awesome. The minute I look at an Ami toy, I think of Little Big Planet, and I have great memories with Little Big Planet as a game. So for me, that's a huge bonus. I find them funny. I find them cute. They collect stuff from the ground for me. They heal me. They talk to me with these little dialogue boxes next to the skill bar. what's to complain, dude? Like, chill. Like, take that butt out of your ass and smile for a while, okay? It's actually okay. One more thing. I don't know if this is on purpose, but I kind of took it that way. There are NPCs, for example, outside of Vena Village, which are named tax collector or some shit like this. When you talk to them, the only button, you know, when you talk to NPC, there's like next, or you can click X or cancel or whatever, right? You have options. When you talk to a tax collector, the only button that you can click to move on is accept. I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but what it essentially implies to is taxes are for sure, and the only thing you can do is just accept the fact and move on. That's it. I don't know. Maybe I am exaggerating. Maybe they didn't mean it that way, but at least this is how I received it, and it's just like an extra flavor for me. So, in short, this is what I like about Throne and Liberty so far, and I probably will record another video in somewhere along the lines like, oh, I had 1,000 hours in Throne and Liberty. This is what I like now, and maybe some of those things will sort of fade away, and I will, or even maybe turn into a bad thing in the long run. But for now, I really appreciate the experience that the game has given me. It's a free fucking game. I had already 100 hours of fun with friends, with strangers. I had been part of a story of a different world, and I can't wait what the game's gonna bring in the future. I will be definitely playing the game on streams, and I'll be definitely uploading more videos around that game in the future. But we'll see where that takes us and how long we're gonna stick around. But I'm having fun, man. I'm having fun, and I hope so do you. In any case, if there's anything I haven't covered and that you like about the game, please do let me know in the comments. Me and Pelasha will happily take a look and talk to you and catch up and see what we might have missed. If there's any like an Easter egg that we could have go and explore on the stream or offline, doesn't matter. Please do tell me. I love stuff like this. So don't hold back, and I will see you in the next video. Skibidi papa, tun 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 tun. Elo.